Now, this is called the mastoid, or the bone is called the mastoid, the muscle is called the masseter. So what you want to do, this muscle right here is called the sternocleidomastoid muscle, and we literally want to pluck that muscle. There you go. Now, mine feels like putty. I mean, it's so soft and pliable. But when I worked on some people over the weekend, man, they about jumped off the table.
They felt like a tree?
Oh, yeah, it felt like steel wires. And of course, they're both athletes. So why should their neck be tense? Why should their neck be tense? Okay. So you have to pluck yourself. So one of the reasons you have to pluck yourself is because this is actually the swallowing muscle. And as we age, we lose our abilities to swallow because we don't chew fibrous, juicy foods. We eat French fries and mashed potatoes and bread with mayonnaise.
And pudding.
And what else?
I'm just kidding. Pudding.
Pudding. Oh. You saw the commercial too? Okay. So, so we have got to pluck ourselves. Okay? Now, behind the jaw, so I want you to open your jaw, and then stick your index finger. And now I want you to slowly close your jaw while your finger is jammed in. So open the jaw slightly, jam the finger in, and then close the jaw slowly. And you will notice that one side closes before the other side. Okay? So your jaw should do this, but most people's jaws do this. So you have the power to adjust your own jaw. Now, this little flap right here is called the tragus. That's the flap that covers the ear hole. So when you open your jaw, you're going to put your index finger there and then your middle finger next to the tragus. And now with your thumb, you're going to manipulate your jaw from side to side. Now, we're going to rotate the lower jaw in a circle. Eight times. And now you're going to reverse it. So this is how we learn how to manipulate our own jaw so that the skull doesn't cause a blockage on my chalk while we're trying to drink our tea. So we need to keep this area open because the Chinese say the lungs are the most fragile organ. Now we have a nose here, and the purpose of the nose is to warm the air before it goes into the lungs, because cold air disturbs the lungs. Now you have an esophagus that goes to the stomach. If you drink cold beverages, it also disturbs the lungs. So cold air or cold beverage is neither a thing that we want to do. So we always want to have warm air and warm beverages so we don't irritate or disturb the lungs.
like extra ice.
Oh yeah, top it off. Which slows down your intestines. Now, behind this jaw, there's a blood vessel that goes to the pineal, and there's a nerve ending that goes to the brainstem. So if you're only eating soft foods, if you're only drinking smoothies, and you're not chewing broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, beets, rutabagas, turnips, if you're not eating crunchy food like jicama and mushrooms, lion's mane mushrooms, oyster mushrooms, if you're not chewing things that have a texture, then you're cheating the blood supply to the pineal, and you're cheating the nerve supply to the brainstem. Whoa.
Wow. Thank you for saying that, because a lot of people get obsessed with drinking smoothies and not eating because they're looking to trim down, but they don't know that.
They don't understand there is a complete science behind it.
Behind the chewing, yeah.
So we say chew your juice and drink your food, because you have a digestive enzyme called amylase that is secreted in the mouth to digest carbohydrates. And then you have another digestive enzyme called protease, which goes into the stomach to digest protein. And then you have a third digestive enzyme called lipase, which goes into the first section of the small intestines to break down fats. So carbohydrate, protein, fat. Now your brain works off of fat. Your heart works off of sugar. Fat and protein. So your brain requires fat and protein. Your heart requires sugar. So whatever you eat, your body breaks it down into carbohydrate, which becomes blood sugar. It breaks it down into protein, and it breaks it down into fat. Now, you only need 5% of your total calories as protein, and you only need 5% of your total calories as fat. That's all you need. But in America, we do 40% protein and 40% fat. So how do you go from 5 to 40, 5 to 40? Now, the ideal diet would be 80% complex carbohydrates. But here we eat simple carbohydrates like rice, potatoes, and corn. So they digest pretty quickly, raising blood sugar, and of course candy, gum, chocolate, tacos, Doritos, you know the deal. Okay, so the issue for us is, why do we need to eat live food to get chi for the Qi Gong? Because the carbohydrates lock in all the nutrients and minerals, and we need the teeth to grind the outer layer of cellulose around your cabbage, your carrots, your broccoli, your cauliflower. So you need your teeth to break up that outer cellulose layer to get to the nutrients on the inside. Okay.
You dropped some gems right there. For a 3-day trial to Sunrise Qigong, go to loveqigong.com. Don't miss out.
Okay, so now there's 5 sources of energy. There's energy of heaven, energy of earth, there's cosmic, which goes into the lungs, there's food and water that goes into the stomach,